Greetings, everyone. This is Father Daniel Kim, Maryknoll Missioner, and welcome to our second Advent Week reflection. So I'm back now in New York from my trip to South Korea, and first of all, I wanted to express my sincere, heartfelt thanks to everyone for all of the outpouring of condolences and support during the initial time of my grandmother's passing. Again, I, along with my family, are truly grateful for all the support and care you have shared. So currently, as you can see, I'm back in my room and in isolation per the COVID prevention protocol regarding out of state travelers. Perhaps some of you that are watching are in quarantine as well, so I thought, why not use this as a footing for this week's Advent reflection? Because, in a way, the season of Advent is like a spiritual quarantine. So let me explain. Advent is a time where we slow down from our usual day to day activities in order to pray and reflect on what the birth of Christ means for us and our faith lives. Also, the season of Advent is not meant to be a jovial experience, rather a solemn one. And I don't know about all of you, but I definitely see being in isolation as not a fun experience. I mean, how many Netflix shows and movies can one watch during a 2 week period? So for my grandmother's funeral, there was several family members that flew in from different parts of the world. And when it came time for us to return to our respective homes, all of us were not looking forward to the self-isolation period upon arrival, especially my uncle, who is quite extroverted. Actually, when he was expressing his annoyance with that, I kind of half jokingly said to him, "Well, at least you'll have time to pray more." And he just rolled his eyes at me. He's like, whatever. So, which brings me to something that I do appreciate about this interim exile. I definitely have much more time to pray, read, and reflect on the life of Jesus and the Gospels, but also my calling as a priest and missioner. So this quiet period really helps bring greater clarity and insight into my vocation and my God-given purpose. And I hope and pray that those of you who are in isolation yourselves or in similar situations are really finding this time for reflection and clarity into your own vocations and God-given purpose. So, like how the anticipation of finishing my time in isolation and experiencing the freedom and joys of being out of it, Advent also is a time where we appreciate the birth of Christ with all the freedom and joys associated with it. Because through his incarnation, not carnation, I'm thinking about ice cream. Anyway, incarnation, God became man and dwelt among us. Through Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, we see hope because the greatest gift God has given us is the gift of life. And despite whatever bumps we encounter along this earthly journey, life itself will never be snuffed out. And like how my grandmother recently passed from this life to the next, all of us too will make that journey someday. And because of Christ, we too are promised the glory of resurrection to new life. So despite the hardships related to this pandemic, issues in our personal lives, what have you, as a people of faith, like the season of Advent, we are in anticipation of greater things to come, both in this life and definitely in the next. So before I end, here's a question that I would like to present to all of you. The question is, what are some of the ways that help you remain hopeful during times of trial, i.e., this pandemic or whatever issues or struggles that you are currently facing? So maybe we could take this question, reflect, and share our answers if you're comfortable in the comment section below. So I'll be looking forward to reading that, and I'll share some of my ways that I remain hopeful. And hint, hint, it's people such as yourselves, especially all the gratitude and support that you're showing, and it really means a lot. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and God bless each and every one of you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Have a blessed week.